Okay, so pag-usapan natin ngayon ang ating inventories and agriculture. No? So this is covered by PAS number 2 and PAS number 41. So under PAS number 2 yung inventories, yung agriculture ay PAS number 41. So, ano yung mga pag-usapan natin? Ano yung mga tinatawag natin na inventories? Then we'll also discuss the different terms, mga freight terms halimbawa. Okay? So, kanino yung inventory? Ano ba yung frequently asked questions dito sa CPA for exams regarding inventories? So, usually, nagpapakompute sa iyo, may bibigay sa iyo ng unadjusted balance. Then, okay, so may mga items na okay, binigay sa iyo kung kasama ba, isasama mo ba o hindi okay, doon sa ating inventory. And together with the effect on the cost of sales as well as in the net income. Okay, ganun din sa kanyang accounts payable. Okay, so ito yung ating okay, pag-uusapan na. So then, okay, pag-usapan din natin yung ating agriculture. So, next. Okay. So, inventories and agriculture, PAS2. Okay, mga audit consideration. Mga kasali sa inventory. Okay, then inventory estimation. Okay, then PAS number 41. Okay, agriculture na. Okay. Oh, okay, pag sinabi natin inventory, these inventories, these are assets that are held for sale in the ordinary course of the business or in the process of production for such sale and in the form of materials or supplies to be consumed in the production process or in the rendering of services. Okay, pansinin mo dito na it must be held for sale in the ordinary course of the business. Ito yung mga finished goods, halimbawa sa mga merchandise, sa mga okay, manufacturing companies. Ano? O kaya naman, meron din yung okay, mga merchandising company. Ito naman yung items na held for sale niya. Binili niya sa supplier, ibibenta niya rin ulit. Okay? Then, in the process of production for such sales, meron din yung work in process. And, okay, pangatlo, okay, meron tayong tinatawag na mga raw materials o kaya mga factory supplies to be consumed in the production process. Yan ay kasali sa mga inventories natin. Okay? So, inventories mo yan. Next, okay, so ito yung ating mga inventories for a merchandising company and a manufacturing company. Ito yung items na held for sale lang, mga merchandise inventory natin. Okay, held for sale in the ordinary course of the business. For a manufacturing company, ano yung mga yan? Okay, meron tayong okay, finished goods. Okay, then work in process. Then yung ating materials and supplies. Yung materials and supplies natin, meron tayong mga raw materials. Pwedeng direct or indirect materials. Ano? Meron din tayong tinatawag na okay, factory supplies. Okay, so yan yung mga kasali sa ating mga inventories for a manufacturing company. Okay, next. So, initial, subsequent measurement as well as FS presentation of the inventories. So, yan si inventories. Ano yung initial measurement nito? It is initially measured at cost. Ano pa? Subsequent measurement naman at lower of cost or net realizable value. Okay, what about the FS presentation, financial statement presentation? Yung una, yung ating, okay, in the statement of financial position, this is, okay, treated as part of the current asset. Then, okay, in the statement of cash flows, operating activities daw itong mga to. Yung mga cash, okay, na bumili halimbawa tayo ng ating inventory, that is considered as operating activities. We will discuss more of this when we go to the statement of cash flows. Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag na direct method as well as indirect method. Ano? So, kapag indirect method, okay, increase in the inventory is a deduction. Okay? Explain natin ito pag punta natin dun, ha? Kapag nag-increase in the inventory, okay, deduction yon. Pag decrease naman, addition yon. Then, under the okay, direct method naman, Okay, meron tayong cash purchases. Yung cash purchases ay deduction yan sa saan? Operating activities. Okay, then, so sa SCI, kapag nabenta mo na inventory natin, magiging cost of goods sold. Okay, it would be cost of goods sold. Okay. Next, what about the initial recognition of the inventory? I-recognize mo daw, number 1, kapag, the entity controls the asset as a result of past event. Okay? Palaging ganyan na. May control tayo. And number 2, merong probable future economic benefits that will flow to the entity. Ano yung probable future economic benefits nito? Ito yung mabebenta natin. Magiging sales natin yan. Okay? Tutubo yun, makita tayo doon. Ano? Okay, those probable future economic benefits. Okay, so dito sa ating inventory. Next, meron din tayong mga initial measurement. Kaya nung nabanggit natin ang ating initial measurement at cost. Ano yung mga categories ng cost natin dito? So number 1, meron tayong tinatawag na cost of purchase. Number 2, meron din tayong cost of conversion. And number 3, other costs incurred in bringing the inventories to their present location and condition. Okay, question. Ano yung mga tinatawag naman natin na cost of purchase? So, cost of purchase, P2 daw yon. P-I-T-O. Ano yung letter P? So, number 1, meron tayong P-I-T-O. So, yung letter P is purchase price. Okay, then we also have the I, import duties and other taxes, except those subsequently recoverable from taxing authorities. Then we also have letter T. Okay, so yung T natin ay transport and other handling cost. Okay, then, meron din tayong other costs directly attributable to the acquisition of the finished goods, materials, and services. Yun yung O. Any trade discount and rebate, sabi ng ating standard PAS number 2, are deducted in determining the cost of purchase. Ibabawas mo mga trade discount. So, ano ba yung tinatawag natin na trade discount? Ito halimbawa ang list price mo ay 100,000, merong 20% off. Okay? So, trade discount yon. Bawas yun sa list price. Okay, so magkano yung invoice price niya? From the list price, 20%. Minus mo yung 20%. So, that would be, kung 100,000 yon, 80,000 na lang ang babayaran mo. So, trade discounts or rebates are deducted from the cost of purchase. Iba yung tinatawag natin na cash discount. Okay? Ang cash discount, diba na, banggit natin sa receivables yan, yun yung halimbawa 210. Ano ulit yan? There is a 2% discount if paid within 10 days. So, on the part of the buyer, ang tawag natin dun ay purchase discount. On the part of the seller, so yung nagbebenta naman ay sales discount ang tawag mo doon. Cash discount yan. Iba yung tinatawag natin na trade discount. Ano yung example ko sa inyo? Ang trade discount is a deduction from the list price of the item. Next, so meron tayong tinatawag na nag-purchase tayo on a deferred credit terms. Halimbawa, nag-purchase ka ng inventory, kung bibilhin mo sana siya, cash basis, 100,000 ang bayad mo. Pero, uutangin mo siya, sige, pwedeng utangin ko na lang. Sabi mo, sabi niya, sige, imbis na 100,000 ang babayaran mo sa akin, mag-issue ka sa akin ng note payable na worth 120,000. Okay? So, yung 120 na notes payable, minus yung cash price niya, will be recognized as interest expense over the period of financing yon. It will be treated as finance cost or interest expense yon over the period of financing. Hindi siya i-recognize na, na kasali ng cost ng inventory mo. Yung 20,000 na difference doon sa example ka. And past due does not permit exchange differences arising directly on the recent acquisition of inventories invoiced in a foreign currency, okay, to be included as part of the cost of the inventories. So, hindi rin kasali ha. Okay, yung exchange difference arising directly on the recent acquisition of the inventories, okay, na invoice in the, okay, foreign currency. Bawa, bibili ka ng inventory mo, na. Okay, so, say, for example, okay, $10,000. So, na. Okay, so $10,000. Ang binili mo ngayon ay, okay, ang dollar ngayon ay, say, 48. Okay, so nagbayad ka, na, for $10,000. So, that would be times 48. Okay, 480,000 na. Okay, so 480,000. So, binigay mo na yung $10,000 mo. You recorded the asset at 480,000 pesos. Paano kung naging 50 kinabukasan? Gagawin mo bang 500,000 na yung 2 pesos difference multiplied by 10,000? I-adjust mo ba yun na cost ng inventory? Hindi naman. Okay, so hindi dapat natin yun gagawin. So, not included as part of the cost of the inventory yun. Okay, then, meron din tayong, okay, conversion cost. Diba, ang conversion cost ay direct labor plus the factory overhead. So, ano yung overhead? Pwedeng variable or, okay, fixed na overhead na tinatawag natin. Variable and the, okay, fixed overhead yan. Okay, so, ang variable overhead is allocated daw, okay, to each unit of production based on the actual use of the production facilities. Ang allocation is based doon sa actual usage. So, halimbawa yung ating, ang gagamitin mo halimbawa is based on the direct labor, direct labor hours. So, you have to allocate it based on the actual usage of the production facilities. Okay, based on that direct labor hours. Or kung based dyan sa machine hours, i-allocate naman yan. Based on that actual usage. Pero iba kapag fixed overhead. It should be allocated based on the normal capacity of the production facilities. Okay? So, kung normal capacity ay 50,000 machine hours, it should be allocated. The fixed overhead should be based on the, okay, 50,000 machine hours. Okay? Okay, kung nagbago yan during the period, halimbawa, naging 45,000 machine hours, okay, ang allocation mo pa rin based on sa normal capacity na na-estimate natin at the, say, at the beginning of the accounting period. So, you will learn more of this when you go to the, okay, cost accounting na. Okay, next. So, sunod natin. So, meron tayong tinatawag na, okay, yung behavior ng ating variable and the fixed overhead within the relevant rates. So, ang variable overhead ay fixed siya per unit. Pero as the activity level increases, the total variable overhead will also increase. Okay? So, yun yung behavior niya. Fixed siya per, okay, unit. Okay, pero kung tumataas yung activity level, yung production level mo halimbawa, tumataas din yung total variable overhead. Kung bumababa yung ating, okay, yung ating actual production, for example, during the period, okay, yung total variable overhead mo, bababa din. Pero ang fixed overhead naman, ano naman yung kanyang behavior, fixed siya in total. Okay, fixed yan in total. Pero, okay, yung average per unit, okay, yung fixed cost per unit, the average fixed cost per unit goes down as the activity level goes up. Kapag tumataas yung ating activity level, yung per unit naman bumababa. Okay? So, kapag bumababa yung activity level, tumataas naman yung average, okay, per unit natin. So, yun yung ating tinatawag na mga variable and the fixed overhead. Okay, so ano yung mga example ng mga variable overhead? Meron tayong tinatawag na mga indirect, okay, mga variable indirect materials as well as the indirect labor. So, meron naman yung fixed overhead, yung straight line method ng depreciation sa mga factory, okay, buildings or mga factory machinery, okay, yung mismong cost of, okay, the factory management and administration, mga fixed overhead yan. Okay? So, yan yung mga, okay, example natin, mga, okay, behavior ng variable and the fixed overhead. Okay, next. So, meron tayong, okay, joint products. So, where joint products are produced and their conversion costs are not separately identifiable, the cost of conversion are allocated between them on a rational and, okay, consistent basis. So, halimbawa yung mga wood factory, okay, timber, meron mga sawdust na nagagamit doon. Yung sawdust na yan, pwede daw magamit as energy pellets to be in, okay, heating. So, yan ay mga joint product yon, okay, na tinatawag. Yung joint product accounting for joint and byproduct, by the way, will be discussed also when you go to the, okay, cost accounting. Nabanggit lang kasi ito sa, okay, PAS number 2 din natin. Next. So, other costs. Okay, so other costs are included in the cost of inventory only to the extent that they are incurred in bringing the inventories to their present location and condition. So, kasali daw siya in bringing the inventories to their present location and condition. Ano yung mga example ng mga other costs? So, borrowing cost. Okay, so yung PAS 23, pwedeng i-capitalize daw yung borrowing cost provided, sabi niya dyan, okay, on inventories which take a substantial amount of time to create. However, hindi daw i-capitalize yung borrowing cost for inventories that are manufactured in large quantities, repetitive basis. Kaya na mga example daw nito, so mga whiskey daw, yung mga whiskey ay mga tinatawag natin na aged in oak barrel, Kapag 5 years, meron din yung mga 10 years, 15 years. Kapag 15 years, mas masarap daw yun So, yung borrowing cost daw noon, yung mga interest daw noon, okay, wag mo nang kakapitalize as cost of the inventory. Okay, masyadong matagal 15 years na in age sa oak barrel yan. Then, we also have storage costs, So, for products that require maturation process or substantial amount to, okay, create. Pwede daw i-capitalize. For example, sa mga, okay, so work in process, So, yung ating work in process, may storage siya, bago mo siya ipaprocess ulit para maging finished product. The storage cost will be capitalized as cost of the inventory. Okay, pero kung yung storage cost mismo ng finished product na, hindi yan i-capitalize na. It will be treated as rent expense. Okay, doon sa nirerentahan natin na facility. Okay? So, next, non-production overheads or cost of designing products for specific, okay, customer. So, pwede daw yan maging cost din ng ating inventory as long as, okay, they contribute, okay, to bringing the inventories to their present location and condition. Okay? Next, excluded from the cost of inventories. So, meron tayong tinatawag na SASAFI. Ano yung S natin? So, S is storage cost unless essential to the production process. Kaya ng okay, work in process natin. Then, we also have the abnormal amounts of wasted materials, labor, or other production cost. Okay, it will be treated as okay, abnormal loss, expense yan separately. Similar to the storage cost, Okay, so storage cost, expense din yan unless, okay, essential siya sa production process gaya ng nabanggit natin kanina. Then we also have the, okay, selling. Diba? Selling cost is, okay, treated as expense. Okay, then admin overheads unrelated to the production. So, then we also have the foreign exchange differences arising directly on the recent acquisition of inventory invoice in a foreign currency. Nabanggit natin kanina. Okay, it will be treated as, okay, a separate expense. Okay, yan. Okay, then interest costs when inventories are purchased with deferred settlement terms. Medyo nabanggit din natin yan. So, yung 6 na yan ay excluded siya from the capitalization. Hindi siya inventoriable in other words. Okay, so next. So, supplies. So, ang supplies ay, okay, factory supplies halimbawa, ay treated as, okay, part of the inventories. No? So, inventory yan, ha? Parang nabanggit din natin kapag a manufacturing company, so inventory din niya yan. Kapag marketing supplies, okay, ang treatment, kapag unused, then it will be treated as part of the, okay, prepayments asset yan eh, na? Okay, pero kapag nabenta mo na, then it will be treated as selling expense. Okay, ito rin, ganun din yun na. Yung inventory mo na ito, okay, pag unused siya, inventory, na factory supplies until such time na maging mabenta mo, okay, cost of, okay, goods sold naman yan, ha? Next, okay, dali natin. What about the, okay, office supplies? Okay, so ang office supplies naman, kapag unused, okay, prepayments. Kapag, okay, used na, magiging, okay, admin expense. Ano? So, general and admin expense natin yan. Okay, next. Okay, mga shipping terms. Ano? So, meron tayong FOB shipping point, ano? Or FOB seller. Ano? So, shipping point or seller. Kaninong inventory kaya yan kapag FOB shipping point? So, saan? Kanina? Sa buyer na yan. Eh. Di ba? Okay, so sa buyer. Then, okay, yung cost insurance and freight. Ito yung mga terms na, okay, mga expense na dapat, okay, bayaran, paid by a seller to cover the cost, the insurance, and the freight. Okay, so yan yung ating cost and, okay, insurance and freight. Okay, so etong mga to ay export mo daw to a port, ano, name in the contract. So export mo, okay, up to the, okay, certain point, ano? So, certain port na tinatawag natin. Okay, so kapag na fully loaded na siya, okay, to a transport ship, okay, so the seller bears the cost of any loss or damage to the product. Okay, so similar daw yan parang sa ating tinatawag na FOB, okay, shipping point din. Na? So, ito yung, okay, cost and insurance and the freight. Na? So, then, okay, yung susunod na item nito, no? So, sa buyer pa rin yan, ha? Okay, so, kapag nasa in transit, okay, so, buyer pa rin yan. What about the free alongside or fast na tinatawag natin? So, ano yung arrangement na ito? Na? The seller only has to deliver the cargo to the port next to the vessel. Okay, and the responsibility, okay, for the goods, okay, masiship na yan to the buyer, okay, so, at that point, ano, so, magiging, okay, buyer na yan, okay, so, i-deliver niya lang, okay, yung cargo next to the, okay, to the port, next to the vessel, okay, so, then, at the same time, ano, okay, at that point, kay buyer na po, yan, okay, so, si FAS, si cost, insurance, and freight, ito, i-describe niya lang yung, okay, yung expense na iboborn muna temporarily ni seller yan, yung cost, insurance, and freight. Okay, up to that point, sa buyer na po yan. Okay, next, meron din tayong, okay, tinatawag na, okay, so paano naman kapag ang term ay FOB destination or sabi niya FOB buyer? Ano? So, kaninang inventory daw yan? Kanina kapag shipping point, sa buyer yon or FOB sa sellers. Okay, so sa buyer. So, kanina yung goods in transit, okay, kapag destination or buyer sa seller. Okay, ganun din yung ex-ship, ano, mga maritime terms kasi itong mga to. No? Kapag ex-ship, ano, ito yung trade term, okay, na inire-require na yung seller i-deliver yung goods to the buyer at an agreed port of arrival. Okay? So, kapag kanino yung goods na in transit pa habang okay, hindi pa napunta na, okay, doon sa agreed port of arrival, na? So it is the seller who owns the goods. Similar din siya sa ating FOB destination. Until it reaches the, okay, destination, Okay? So, yan ay sa seller pa yung goods in transit. Okay? So, ganun din yung X-ship natin. Ano? So, until it reaches the port of arrival, ano? So, sa seller din yan. Ano? Okay, next. Ano pa? Yung mga ibang terms din. Ano? Meron din tayong okay, so bill and hold arrangement. Okay, na tinatawag. So, kanino daw yung inventory naman? Okay, so sa buyer din yan. Ganun din yung installment sale. Okay, so yung installment sale, yung possession ng goods na ito ay na-transfer na sa buyer. Although legally, si seller pa rin ang nagmamay-ari, okay, ng goods na yan, ng merchandise na yan, okay, to protect the collectibility of the amount due. Okay? So, yun yung installment sales. Halimbawa, pumunta ako sa appliance center. Okay? So, kumuha ko ng ref halimbawa. Okay? So, yung ref na yun, hinuhulog-hulugan ko. Okay? Installment. Okay? Sale. So, parang sa akin na yun. Yung merchandise inventory na yun. Pero legally speaking, okay? So, pwedeng ang legal title nito sa seller pa rin para ma-maintain niya, makuha niya pa rin yung yung collectibility ng aking yung utang. Then yung bill and hold arrangement so ito yung contract of sale naman under which an entity bills a customer to a product. Okay, pero yung entity, yung company, it retains physical possession of the product until it is transferred to the customer. So, kanino yung inventory na yan? Okay, sa buyer siya. Okay, provided, ma-meet niya yung, may mga conditions, na sinasabi ito sa atin, ng standard. So, number 1, yung condition, yung reason for bill and hold arrangement must be substantive. Okay, for example, request ni customer yung arrangement na yon. Okay, so then, ano pa, yung mga conditions na sa buyer na yan. Okay, so yung product dapat must be identified separately as belonging to the customer. Okay, so itong product na ito, itong specific na product na ito, ay customer na daw yan. And, okay, the product currently must be ready for a physical transfer to the customer. Kasi separately identifiable siya. Okay, tapos, magkakaroon ng tinatawag na pwede nang, physically transfer to the customer. And the entity cannot have the ability to use the product or to direct it to another customer. So, yung company na nagbebenta, yung si seller, ibig sabihin, hindi na niya pwedeng ibenta yun sa iba. Okay? So, or hindi niya pwedeng gamitin sa, itong produkto, specific product na ito. Kasi na-specify na itong produkto na ito ay kay buyer. So, kapag na-meet yung mga yan, so, sa buyer na po yan, Okay? So, special order goods. Diba, ano naman yung special order goods na tinatawag natin? Diba, manufacturer tayo ng sapatos, nag-order si LeBron James ng ganyang kalaking sapatos. Okay? So, upon completion, kahit hindi mo pa na-deliver yung special order goods na yan, sa buyer na yan. So, whoever is the buyer, kahit na nasa warehouse pa natin yan. Okay? So, yan yung ating, special, order goods na tinatawag naman natin. Okay, so, puntahan din natin yung mga ibang terms, So, halimbawa, yung tinatawag natin na layaway. Ano yung layaway naman? Halimbawa, pupunta din ako sa appliance center. Kanina, kapag installment sales, kukunin ko na halimbawa yung refrigerator. Iwi ko na sa bahay. Huhulog-hulugan ko na lang yon. Okay, paano naman itong layaway sales na to? So, ito naman yung arrangement wherein, meron akong, pumunta ako sa appliance center. Okay, tapos, kinausap ko yung seller. So, pwede bang bilhin ko to, no? So, layaway yan, sir. Ano? Pwede bang ipa-layaway, ano? So, anong gagawin ko? Sige, pwede bang 1,000 na lang, okay, ang ihulog ko, okay, per month, ano? So, pumupunta ako doon, hindi ko pa inuwi yung produkto, nandun pa yung produkto, okay? So, bigay ako ng 1,000. Okay, another 1,000 sa susunod na buwan until such time na ma-fully paid ko siya. Okay, kanino daw ang inventory kapag ganung arrangement? Okay, so sa seller pa rin. Yung possession ng goods, nasa kanya pa rin. Yung installment sales kasi, yung installment sales kanina, okay, iuwi ko na yung, okay, merchandise sa buyer na yon. Ano? Okay, pero dito, okay, nandun pa yung goods, ano, hindi ko pa pwedeng uwi until such time na ma-fully pay ko siya. Okay, so that's the layaway sales na tinatawag natin. Then, meron din tayong sales out on approval. Kapag walang sinasabi, kapag may encounter natin ito sa problem, kapag walang sinasabi, we assume sa seller din yan. Okay, then, meron din tayong sales with buyback agreement. Paano ba itong sales with buyback agreement? Okay, ang tawag ni Kiso and Wagan ito sa intermediate accounting niya, ang tawag niya ay parking transaction. Ito si seller, then si buyer. Okay, seller, meron akong inventory dito, buyer, bigay ko sa iyo yung inventory ko, bigyan mo ako ng 100,000. Okay, so 100, halimbawa. Tapos, after 2 months, okay, iba-buyback ko din yan. So, babuyback ko, babayaran ko na sa iyo 100, okay, 20,000. So, yung inutang ko, parang utang lang ako, 100,000. 120 yung bayad ko sa kanya. Yung 20,000 na difference is a finance cost. Okay, interest expense natin yun. So, yun yung parking transaction or sales with buyback agreement. Kanino daw ulit yung inventory? Sa seller, similar to layaway, sales out on approval. Okay. Then, yung last item, yung segregated goods in the warehouse. Okay, being held pending shipping instructions. Okay, so may binibenta tayo, pero itong goods na ito ay nakasegregate na. Pero wala pang instruction sa atin kung paano natin i-ship. So kanina pa rin daw, sa seller pa din daw yan, hindi sa buyer. Okay? So, ganun lang po yung mga terms natin diyan sa mga ibang terms natin dito regarding yung apat, layaway, sales on approval, sales with buyback agreement, and segregated goods in the warehouse. Okay? Next. Okay, pag-usapan lang natin ng konti yung accounting for consignment. So, kanino na ulit yung goods kapag for accounting for consignment or consignment sales? So, sa consignor yan, or yung seller. Yung consignee, hindi siya ang nagmamay-ari ng consign goods. Kasi tignan mo itong journal entry na to. So, transaction, consignor, then debit and credit, then the consignee. So, number 1. So, shipment of goods on consignment. Anong debit natin? Debit inventory on consignment. So, si consignor yan, then, magka-credit siya ng merchandise inventory or yung finished goods niya, halimbawa. So naka-debit pa rin dun sa consignor. So sa kanya yung merchandise inventory natin. Samantalang kapag on the part of the consignee, look at the journal entry kapag na-ship yung goods sa kanya. Oh, no entry lang daw. Memo entry lang yan to control. Memo control record lang. So pansinin kanino yung goods in transit kapag on consignment, si consignor. Kasi debit pa rin yan sa inventory on consignment ni consignor. Then, payment of expenses by the consignor. Halimbawa, yung freight or possible na mga insurance halimbawa ng merchandise. Anong journal entry ni consignor? So, the journal entry will be debit to, look at the journal entry, debit inventory on consignment. Napansin mo? Dinebit yung inventory on consignment, ibig sabihin, dinadagdagan mo yung cost ng ating inventory. Then, credit to cash or other appropriate account. So, on the part of the consignee naman, okay, wala siyang journal entry. So, again ha, it will be capitalizable cost on the part of the consignor. Yung mga payment ng mga freight halimbawa ng merchandise na pinakonsign. Next, kung ang nagbayad naman dito, no, dun sa scenario number 2, si consignor ang nagbayad. Kung pinabayad kay consignee, so what will be the journal entry? I-debit mo sa inventory on consignment pa rin. Okay, so capitalizable cost ng ating inventory. Then, okay, you will credit the consignee payable. So, pero part naman ni consignee, look at the journal entry, magde-debit siya ng receivable. Consignor receivable. Okay, then, credit naman siya ng cash kasi siya ang nagbayad. So, yan yung journal entry niya. Okay, sa part ni consignee. Okay, next, punta natin yung iba pang mga transaction sa consignor and consignee pa rin. Okay, paano kung nabenta na ni consignee yung merchandise at hindi pa na-inform si consignor? So, part ni consignor to ha. Okay, itong portion na ito will be part ni consignor then the consignee. So, journal entry on the part of the consignor, kapag hindi pa siya na-inform, wala mo ng journal entry. On the part of the consignee, debit siya ng cash. Okay, then, credit siya ng consignor payable. So, utang niya ito kay consignor. Okay? So, yan yung journal entry niya. Next, paano kung notification na of the sale to consignor and payment of the cash due? Ibig sabihin, niremit na yung utang ni consignee niremit na niya kay consignor. So, ano ang journal entry sa part ni consignor? So, what's the journal entry? De-debit niya yung commission expense. Then, debit also, cash. Yan na yung, matatanggap niya kung magkano. Then, i-debit niya rin yung consignee payable. Yan yung utang niya doon sa, binayaran na freight ni consignee kanina. For example, yan na. Then, magka-credit siya ng, sales na. Consignment sales revenue. Okay, then, part naman ni consignee, itong portion na to will be the part of the consignee. So, as a journal entry, debit siya, consignor payable. Ito, pangtanggal doon sa credit niya kanina na itong portion na to. I-debit niya yan. Then, magka-credit siya ng cash. Yan yung cash na, na-remit niya dito sa, kay consignor. Okay? Then, commission revenue. Yan yung kita niya, na? Okay? Then, on the part of the consignee, meron pa rin credit to consignor receivable. Tatanggalin na niya yung consignor, receivable naman. Okay, then, kung perpetual method ito, on the part of the consignor, debit cost of goods sold and credit to the inventory on consignment. Okay? So, ganun lang yung ating accounting for consignment. So, kapag consigned goods, kanino yung inventory ulit? Ang sabi natin, kay consignor, hindi si consignee. Okay, that's the accounting for consignment. Now, let's go to the other expenditures. So, puntahan naman natin yon. Okay, so puntahan naman natin yung mga different expenditures. Paano kaya ang treatment natin dyan? Okay, so yung una dito, yung ating freight. So, kapag freight in, anong treatment natin? Di ba? Ang freight in is inventoryable. Yan. Okay, so part of the product cost. So, inventoryable. Paano kung freight out naman? Okay, anong treatment natin ng freight out? So, ang freight out ay delivery expense, selling expense po yan. Then, paano kung yung freight doon sa pinakonsign natin na goods? Nasabi natin kanina doon sa previous na slide, kapag tayo si consignor, on the part of the consignor, inventoryable niya yan. Ano? Okay, so dapat i-add niya yan doon sa cost ng inventory on consignment. Okay, so inventoryable on the part of the consignor. Ganon yung treatment kapag may freight out, for the consigned goods. Okay? Yan yung mga different expenditures natin. Tuloy natin yan dun sa susunod na slide. Okay, ano ba? Insurance. Ano? So, insurance ng ating merchandise na pinurchase during delivery to the entity's warehouse. So, bumili tayo ng inventory from Manila going up to Baguio. So, pina-insure mo yung inventory na yan. So, that is part of the cost of the inventory, inventoriable. What about the insurance to the customer? So it will not be treated as part of the cost of inventory. It will be treated as insurance expense. A separate expense daw yon. Or it may be treated also as a part of the selling expense. Okay, so that is for the insurance. Okay, so insurance out for consigned goods. Yung pina-consign natin. So tayo si consignor. Okay, so insurance for the consigned goods are inventoriable. Are the part of the consignor. Inventoriable yan. Okay, then we also have the interest. So interest, kapag non-routinely manufactured goods, ito yung nabanggit natin under the borrowing cost. It will be inventoriable. So, pero kung manufactured, repetitive basis, routinely manufactured on a repetitive basis, this will be treated as interest expense. So hindi siya capitalizable, hindi siya inventoriable. Then, tax. So, kapag non-refundable ang tax natin, so, you purchase merchandise, may tax na binigay, may sales tax, may tax kang binayaran, and it is non-refundable, that would be inventoriable. So, pero kapag refundable yan, for example, VAT, that will be treated as your, input tax, input VAT, to be offset against the output tax. Diba? Ang computation natin ng VAT, value-added tax, is actually the output less input tax to get the VAT payable, value-added tax payable. Next, commissions, advisors, and fee. So if that is related to the acquisition or the purchase of the merchandise, it would be inventoriable. Otherwise, related to the sale, that would be treated as selling expense. So that is for the different expenditures, commissions, advisors, and fees. Next, meron tayong mga guide questions. Ito, ginagamit ko, finormulate ko lang itong questions na ito. So, pag nagsasolve tayo ng mga problems, gaya ng problems 1, 2, 3 yata, dyan sa ating handouts. So, there are guide questions similar to our questions in the, guide questions in the audit of accounts receivable and related accounts. So, the first question is, so, scenario number 1, was there a valid purchase? Was the purchase recorded? And number 3, dun sa sales natin, were the inventories excluded? Pero dito naman, were the inventories included in the count? So include na isali ba sa count natin? So, if the answer is yes, so yung dalawa dito dapat yes din. So kapag yes yan, then yes, there will be no adjusting journal entry. No adjusting journal entry yan, next. Paano kung, next scenario. Was there a valid purchase? Was it recorded? And were the inventories included in the count? So if the answer is yes, tapos nag-no ka dun sa, isa. So, was the purchase recorded? You have to record the purchases. The purchase should be recorded. Assume this will be purchase on account. The debit will be purchases and credit to the accounts payable. And were the inventories included in the count? Kapag, no din yan, you will have to recognize, you will have to include that in the count by a debit to merchandise inventory and credit to the cost of sales. So, look at the adjustment. Debit purchases and credit accounts payable. Okay, this one, merchandise inventory and credit to the cost of sales. So, yan yung guide questions natin ha. So, scenarios 1 and 2. Okay, then, what about scenario number 3? Valid na ba? Was there a valid purchase? Was it recorded? And were the inventories included in the count? Kung ang sagot mo, none, dapat no din yung dalawa na. Okay, kapag no yan, no adjusting journal entries. Okay, then under scenario number 4, was there a valid purchase? Was it recorded? And were the inventories included in the count? Okay, so if the answer is, okay, was there a valid purchase? None or no? Okay, was the purchase recorded? If the answer is yes, then you'll have to adjust. Okay, adjusting journal entry will be a debit to accounts payable. Bakit i-debit mo yung accounts payable mo and credit to purchases? Nag-record siya, hindi dapat. Ano? Okay, so the purchase was recorded pero hindi dapat. So you'll have to debit accounts payable and credit to the purchases. And were the inventories included in the count? Kapag sagot mo dyan ay yes, you have to remove the merchandise inventory by a debit to cost of sales and credit to the merchandise inventories. Okay, so look at the adjustment. So you'll debit the accounts payable and credit to purchases. Okay, then cost of sales and credit to the merchandise inventory. So, yung mga yan, ito yung mga kailangan natin, doon sa ating, mga problems 1, 2, and 3. Apply natin yan mamaya, sa mga problems na yan. Okay, next.